Welcome to Legacy Trails with your host, Stan Potts and Terry Horton.
Even before I was able to hunt, he would take me hunting, duck hunting or deer hunting.
My mom was a hunter, my grandmother was a hunter, and they started me hunting when I was just a little girl.
It's about passing it along. It's what my granddad and my dad did for me. They passed the outdoor legacy on to me when I was a little boy.
Come along with us as we show you our family's love of God's great outdoors on Legacy Trails. This week's show is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Heavy metal, because I didn't come this far to miss. Mission Archery, bows and crossbows that outperform their price. Spy Point, the world's best and most innovative trail and action cameras. Drop Time product, quality mineral and seed blends with free shipping. ScentLock, proven deadly. Grace Camo and Lace, it's a way of life. And by booksbypots.com.
Folks, welcome to Legacy Trails this week. We got a very unique show. It's called Walk This Way. I've got an extensive background in trapping. My neighbor, Mike Chapman, his son-in-law, Jake, is just taking up trapping, and I'm showing him a little bit of the ropes.
I know one of your favorite ways to whitetail hunt is using a decoy. Miss Brenda's headed to Illinois. She's hunting whitetail deer, and she's using her decoy.
Stan Potts' success as a whitetail hunter is well known, but few people realize he attributes much of his ability to understand deer movement to his early days as a trapper. As a young man, he made a living as a dry land trapper in Illinois and Wyoming. In this episode, titled Walk This Way, we explore several ways trappers and hunters use techniques to bring game animals into range.
Well, folks, we're sitting here with my buddy Jake here, Jake Bevins, and Jake started trapping last year. And I've always said, I have a history trapping. That's how I got my start years ago. And I was kind of trying to help him. He'd never trapped before, and as you can see, he's got his trap bucket sitting here with all of his tools in it, exactly what he needed. Last fall, when you actually got out there and started trapping, and you had all your stuff ready, you boiled your traps, what'd you think of it, man?
I loved it. It was absolute riot.
It is. It's just something to go out there, to think about it, and think about where you're going to set them, scout your set locations, then go to the trouble. And it is a lot of trouble. You have to go through a lot of steps to do it right, don't you?
Yes, you do. The best part I liked is getting the traps all set perfect and getting the poundage and everything just perfect, putting there in the dirt, and just had a lot of fun doing it.
And what Jake means by getting his stuff ready is getting your traps boiled, dyed, scent free, and then you also have to adjust your traps and adjust the pans, tighten the screws, make sure the right poundage on the pan, so your pan, once your trap is set and your pan is set where you want it, everything is level. There's a lot it's not just about setting the trap and setting it down there, is it?
No, it's not. Far from it.
So tell me about how you did.
Ended up with 6 coyotes, a red fox, and a skunk, and tons of coons.
And you only did this for a few weeks.
Yeah, the hardest part was catching that weather correct and making sure that you weren't going to have rain in the forecast, and then it would freeze one night and then it would rain, and so it was just a lot of time out in the timber just resetting.
Yeah, and you wanted to catch a red fox, and the red fox population nowadays is not what it used to be because the coyotes have taken over, but you got you a big red fox, and it was a big male too, wasn't it?
Yep.
And you're having him mounted life size. There are a lot of similarities in trapping and hunting, and you found that out, didn't you? Because you've shot some great big whitetail bucks, and you've hunted out west, you've hunted all over, and there are a lot of similarities.
Yes, there is. One of the biggest thing was trying to find that perfect set, and you look for where the trails are coming in and kind of where the coyotes are going to be traveling and getting out there. And I'll tell you what, the best set was on that corner of that bean field.
Yeah.
I caught probably 4 out of that set.
Yeah, 4 coyotes out of 1 trap.
Here we are, coyote number 3, same exact trap.
You know, let's say a deer hunter, when you're looking for a tree stand location, and when you're a trapper looking for a set location, your instincts as an outdoorsman, they're very similar. Both of them cross over. And if you show me a really good trapper, I'll show you a really good deer hunter in the same. And that's really how Tom Miranda and myself got to be really good friends, because we had a background in trapping. Now let's go down to Southern Illinois with Allie and Adriana Armstrong, and they've got Hunter call them over to show them how to catch some coons, because they got a big coon problem and they think they're robbing the turkey nest.
Hunter, here's another spot that we've been seeing several coon cut through this bush hog path, so hopefully you'll get you one. We've been seeing a lot of tracks through here. So.
Alright, thanks. Make sure that you have permission, because these things can catch dogs just as kill them just as easy as a can of coons. So. The reason I use marshmallows to bait these is because you can touch them all you want, and that sugar, all the sugar on them, they can't smell your scent that you leave on it. So.
Hunter and A went out and set these traps yesterday, and we got them today. It looks like we're off to a good start.
Trappers also work in waterways, eliminating animals that can be detrimental to lakes, ponds, streams, and rivers. Buck Horton is checking water traps that were set to clear a muskrat population that's threatening to destroy a large fishing pond by burrowing into the dam and eroding the banks.
There's a lot of ways to get a deer to walk where you want them to walk. Decoying. You've done a lot of that yourself, haven't you?
Yep.
And that's a great way to do it. Later on in the show, my wife Brenda is in Western Illinois. You remember that last fall? And she's got her decoy out. It's rut time, and you're not going to want to miss this one.
Don't go away. There's more to come here on Legacy Trails.
Fast on a rough road riding, twisting, turning further from my home. And when it's done, believe that I will yell it from that mountain high. I was born free.
Truck guys, as dependable as the trucks they drive. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road.
You're watching Legacy Trails, and now it's time for Along the Way with Stan Potts. Is sponsored by ScentLock, proven deadly.
Welcome to Along the Way segment this week, folks. I wanted to talk to you. Tim and I, before the camera come on, was talking about scent control, and it's no secret that I wear ScentLock, and so does Tim. We have for years and years, and that's what I believe in. But what we were talking about is, no matter what you wear, you know, you have to practice scent control. Spraying with Scent Away, wearing ScentLock, because it does work. Doesn't work all the time, does it?
No, it doesn't work all the time, but it works the majority of the time. And it'll save you a lot more times than it won't.
That's exactly right. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it works 100% of the time, but it does work, and you've got to be willing to put forth the effort, right,
That's right.
Tim?
You got to do every step.
That's right. And you get out of it what you're willing to put in it.
That's right.
You're watching Legacy Trails.
Well, folks, we're sitting here with my buddy Jake here, Jake Bevins, and Jake started trapping last year. There are a lot of similarities in trapping and hunting. If you show me a really good trapper, I'll show you a really good deer hunter in the same. Susan Armstrong, Southern Illinois. She's late season doe hunting, and they've left a strip of soybeans to get that deer to walk exactly where they want it. So let's go join Susan with her muzzleloader and see how she does.
We've set up a blind out here at the edge of our soybean field. We've had deer out here every evening, and now the snow is flying like crazy, so we're hoping that they'll come out again like we've seen them doing here in the past few evenings, and maybe I'll get a chance at a doe, and we'll get some meat in our freezer for the year. Alright, I've got a clear shot at one. I'm going to try to take one of these does. Here she is. We always try to practice some doe management along the way, and she'll make some really good tenderloins tonight, and I'm sure the girls will enjoy some beef sticks and jerky all winter long. So I'm proud to be able to put some meat in the freezer for the year.
Susan got her doe, put those soybeans out, left them, and they got that deer to walk out exactly where they wanted. And there's a lot of ways to do that, Jake. You know that as well as anybody else, and a decoy is one. And my wife Brenda used her decoy last fall in western Illinois on a rut hunt. Let's go take a look at it. It's awesome. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Brenda Potts is hunting whitetails in central Illinois during the rut. She decides to use a decoy to entice a buck to walk within range of her mission bow.
Well, this is the second morning of my bow hunt over in Morgan County. Stanley's filming not too far from here. We'll just get ready and see what happens. Oh my gosh, I think I just smoked him. I think I just smoked him. He was... Oh. Okay, calm down. That buck came out from the right from downwind of us, and I didn't even see him till he was right there at the decoy. And he circled around Bucky decoy a couple of times. Snort wheezed, turned broadside, gave me a shot. I think I just smoked him. He ran over right up the hill. He's not a giant buck, but I don't care because that's my first buck with a bow in a ground blind on a decoy filming myself. Yes, there he is. Thank you, Lord. We got him. Here we go. Yes. This is not a giant, but he's a giant in my heart because that was awesome. From a ground blind. With a decoy, with a bow, filming myself. You are one of my favorite bucks of all time, buddy.
Well, here's Brenda's buck, Legacy Trails. She put her own blind up, filmed herself using a decoy. When we got here, Barry and I to help her, it's already field dressed and tagged.
And this is my first bow with my Mission Venture.
Yep. Mission Archery by Matthews.
You're watching Legacy Trails We'll be right back.
"12 years ago, Heavy Shot unleveled the playing field. We think it's time to unlevel the playing field again. Heavy Shot proudly brings you Speedball. Designed with the Speedball pellet accelerator, Speedball's layered construction keeps high energy Heavy Shot pellets flying slightly ahead of the MV2 pellets. Speedball, unlevel the playing field."
You're watching Legacy Trails. It's time for Know Your Game with Allie and Adriana Armstrong.
You know the old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, that saying is still true today, and probably even more so with all the social media we have now. Here are a few tips for preserving the memories of your hunt by taking better photographs.
Pose your animal respectfully.
Use Windex to remove all of the blood.
Make sure the tongue is not showing.
We like to use a set of taxidermy eyes to make the animal look more vibrant.
Use a brush to clean off the hide.
Try to tell a story with your photograph.
Include your tools for the hunt. For example, use your bow, your gun, or an orange vest.
Always make sure the weapon is pointed safely.
If there's something unique about the hunt, include it too, as in rattling antlers or a decoy.
Be sure to take pictures from lots of different angles.
It's good to show scenery so we know what time of year it was. If you had a guide or a cameraman, include them too.
Pay attention to where the sun is because you want the sun behind the cameraman so you have good lighting on the subject.
You can also use field flash to get rid of the hat shadows.
We hope these tips help you to preserve the memories of your hunt.
Kids Gone Hunting with Buck Horton is presented by Chevrolet Silverado. Find new roads.
Hey y'all, y'all probably didn't know that being a trapper also makes you a better hunter. Now this week the Legacy Trails team is out trying to do their job on conservation with varmints like beavers and coons.
We got a three-way here, and coyotes and fox, they love to run roads. We got a bunch of sage grass, and we're gonna set us a dart hole set. Put a little peat moss on it here. It's a mouse bait for coyote, fox. This hole here. I think that's it.
Me and Hunter came out here today and set some traps. I just couldn't wait, so me and Dad came out here at about 8 o'clock tonight, and we caught 2 coons, 2 possums, and 1 muskrat. So we went and set all the traps again, so I'm ready for in the morning.
Well, it seems like every time me and Adriana got in a tree stand this year, we had coons coming by us. So we called Hunter to see if he'd come up and take care of that problem. Looks like we're getting a little bit too many up here. That's gonna be really taking care of our turkey population if we ain't careful. So Hunter's come up to set a few coon traps, and he's getting a bonus this morning. This morning I got up early and looked out, and there's a couple of coyotes out here in the field running around. You're getting your bonus. Go ahead and skin that dude out, well.
You're watching Legacy Trails. We'll be right back.
This is my life. The weekend warrior. No more production lines or deadlines. This is why I work 5 days a week. I need speed, power, precision. I expect no less than the best. This is my best. This is my chance. This is my mission.
Simple, efficient, powerful. Mission by Matthews.
Welcome back to Legacy Trails. Keepers of the Flame with Terry Horton is brought to you by Spy Point, the world's best and most innovative trail and action cameras.
At Legacy Trails, we treasure those gifts and traditions handed down through the generations. Each week, we like to take a moment to pay tribute to those whose hard work keeps our outdoor heritage alive. Whether it's an organization or a specific individual, from the past or the present, each one has made a difference. We call them Keepers of the Flame.
Legacy Trails Keepers of the Flame is proud to present the National Wild Turkey Federation's Save the Habitat, Save the Hunt.
When we pull our trucks into a public hunting area the first day of the season, we don't think about wide open gates. We see the possibilities before us. When we walk through a stand of hardwood trees, we don't count the number of species we hear. the Wild Symphony stirs our souls. When we pull the trigger, it's not the end of a hunt, it's the beginning of a memory. For us, hunting isn't a hobby, it's a way of life. The outdoors isn't just what's on the other side of the glass, it's where we feel most alive. We are hunters, conservationists, volunteers. We are the National Wild Turkey Federation. Our commitment for the coming decade? Raise $1.2 billion to conserve and enhance over 4 million acres of essential wildlife habitat, create at least 1.5 million new hunters, and open access to 500,000 new additional acres for hunting, shooting, and outdoor enjoyment. When it comes to saving critical habitat and saving our hunting heritage, saving what matters most to us, the NWTF is prepared to invest its time, resources, and elbow grease to ensure they're around tomorrow and forever. Join the National Wild Turkey Federation today and get involved in your local chapter. Learn how you can be part of the Save the Habitat, Save the Hunt initiative at www.nwtf.org.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to Legacy Trails this week. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of trapping and Brenda with the decoy. It was awesome. So from all of us here, right back here next week.
Hey, what a great way to get an animal to walk your way. Hey, y'all, thanks for joining us. Come back next week, and God bless.
Next week's preview presented by Ground Dogger Hunting Solutions.
And he's knocked off both sets of horns.
It's great to be out here with my dad. Love him to death, and he's going to be 74 next week, aren't you? Well, the 11th of January, you're going to be 74.
This week's show is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Heavy Metal, because I didn't come this far to miss. Mission Archery, bows and crossbows that outperform their price. Spy Point, the world's best and most innovative trail and action cameras. Drop Time product, quality mineral and seed blends with free shipping. ScentLock, proven deadly. Grace Camo and Lace, it's a way of life. And by booksbypots.com. Promotional consideration was provided by these fine sponsors.
Yes. This is not a giant. It's a giant in my heart, because that was awesome. From a ground blind, with a decoy, with a bow, filming myself. You are one of my favorite bucks of all time, buddy.